Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you tarot scopes for the month of June 2022. June is here, it has arrived, and I hope you have survived this far. It's been a crazy year. I want to use the word whirlwind, but I don't want to actually use that word because it's such a horrible one. But it has been one of those years, hasn't it? Just when we think we get a handle on things, just when we think things are okay, something happens and we completely shifted off course again. So I think it's another reason why these tarot scopes are proving to be ever so popular. Last month, I think you all really enjoyed your tarot scopes. I had terrible audio last month, and I do apologize for that, but I assure you those problems are fixed and resolved, and we will have no audio problems going forward. So we're recording June 2022 tarot scopes. If this is the first time that you are looking at tarot scopes or watching tarot scopes with me, welcome. Let me just explain to you how it works so that you have an idea of what you've actually what's in store for you with the next couple of minutes. So I record one intro video, that's this one. So every single of the 12 tarot scopes that I do all get the same intro added in front of the video. Then I turn the camera around so that you're looking straight at the table, and I do the reading from there. So you don't get to see my face during the reading. Not important at that point. What's important is the cards. So we switch the camera around so that you get the hands down top version of the table so that you can see the cards that we do. The reading that I'm going to do for you is the same format or layout as what I did last month in May. Because I just thought it gave us so much. There was just so much information there, and relevant, appropriate information, and not, not light-hearted stuff. It was like real. And I thought that was quite good. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to stick to the same format. The only difference that I'm doing this month are the cards that I'm working with, and I've also added in another set of cards. So we're going to start off with the main tarot deck that I'm going to work with this time around is this beautiful Meraki Tarot is what it's called. Meraki Tarot has just finished off its second Kickstarter, which means edition 2, version 2 or second edition is coming out at the end of the year. I am so excited to get my hands on that. I love my Meraki Tarot, so we're going to be using that one this month. I am partnering or pairing it with Oracle decks, and I have got the Divine Energy Oracle by Sonia, and I am also using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle by Kyle Gray. So I think with all of these, we're going to get really awesome readings, awesome messages. So the idea behind the tarot scopes is that I record 12 separate individual readings, one for each sign of the zodiac. So starting at Aries, going all the way through to Pisces and covering everybody in between. Before I start the recording, I do set the intention that it be appropriate or relevant for your sun, moon, and rising. So if you know a little bit about your astrology and you know what your moon sign is and you know what your rising sign is, if you watch those videos as well, it will give you a little bit more insight. I encourage you as well to watch the video for your family and friends. So if you want to know what's going on with your partner, if you want to know what's going on with anybody, in your life, you can check out their tarot scope as well to get a bit of insight into what they're dealing with. Because sometimes what I've noticed is if you're aware of what other people are going through, and if you're mindful of what's happening in their lives, you adjust your reaction or your response to them appropriately, which means communication gets easier, which means connection gets easier, which means relationship is easier. And so sometimes it's nice to know what kind of stuff the other person is going through, so that you understand yourself and you understand everybody else around you. And when we do that, we work in synergy with each other. And I think that's so important. If you want to know how to jump around, the way that I do it on YouTube is I do create a playlist. So there will be a June 2022 playlist that will have all 12 videos in it. But if you open up the little description below, I will have the links to each of the 12 videos in the description below. So it makes it easy for you to navigate and jump around. These videos are free, they are public, they are open to everybody. All I ask from you is, if you do enjoy the content, to give the video a thumbs up. A comment is always appreciated, and if you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to the channel. When you do that, subscribe to the channel and push the like button and comment, you're basically helping my channel grow on YouTube. You're helping to let YouTube know that, my content is not so bad, and that maybe YouTube should recommend me to other people. So if you want to help me, subscribe, like, and comment on the channel. And for those of you who have found the new, what they call super thanks feature and have used it, thank you. I'm so appreciative of the donations. I'm so appreciative of the show of support. It's not necessary for anybody to do, but I do appreciate everybody who has used the feature. It's a new feature on YouTube. It's only been on my channel for a couple of weeks, and I've already had quite a few people show their appreciation and their gratitude by dropping a little super thanks in the box, and I do appreciate every single one of you. So we're going to turn the camera around. We're going to get started off. And I look forward to seeing what May 2022 has in store for you. Right, Pisces, let's get into your reading and let's have a look and see what the month of June has in store for you. I am shuffling the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. We're going to take a single card from this deck, which is going to give us the tone of the reading, tone of the month ahead for all Pisces energy for June 2022. All right, happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck over there and take the first card off the top. Okay, so Pisces, let's have a look and see the tone of our reading today, the tone of our month ahead. Let's have a look and see what angels and ancestors have to show. Oh, I love this guy. I mean, that face. He is just amazing. He is the elder, and he tells us to move beyond ancestral patterns. You know, look at the wisdom. I want to see if the camera will really show how beautiful he is. Just those eyes, you know, there's just so much wisdom, there's just so much understanding, there's so much truth. I'm going to tell you that this guy doesn't care if people like him or not. He doesn't care if people approve of who he is, what he is, or why he is. He doesn't care about that. He is so his own person. He is so comfortable in his own skin. He is so okay with his own being that he doesn't care about anybody. If you want to look at him funny because he's got some, you know, body paint or whatever it is, he doesn't care. He's going to do the things that feel right to him. He's going to do the things that make sense to him. And his message of move beyond ancestral patterns, you know, we need to recognize and understand that every single one of us are influenced, if I can use that word, influenced by our ancestors, influenced by, you know, the way that our parents reacted and responded to things, the way that their parents reacted and responded to things, and the way that society reacted and responded to things. So we are all very programmed and very conditioned by ancestral patterns. And the message from the elder is saying to you that you don't have to be, okay? That it's okay to recognize that things that worked a certain way in the past might not necessarily work for you now. And one of the things that I have to sort of highlight is the fact that we're doing this reading for a single month. And I have to acknowledge that we're doing this reading for the month of June 2022 for you, which is when we have a major season change. It's when we get to the middle of the year. It's when we have a major season change, and it's when we also, here in the Southern Hemisphere, we have, you know, our longest night and our shortest day. And that's a time when we all get introspective. That is a good time for us all to start looking at our shadows and the darker parts of ourselves, to see what aspects of ourselves we enjoy and what we don't. And it's a brilliant, brilliant time to start moving beyond ancestral patterns. So start asking yourself, your family dynamic, your ancestors, good or bad, it doesn't matter. We're not judging. But what we're saying is, what did they used to do that we don't want to do, that isn't relevant and appropriate to us in this lifetime? All right, friends, I am going to give one last shuffle to the Meraki Tarot, and then I'm going to lay out all the cards that we need for the reading. And only once the cards are laid out will I actually turn them over and do the reading. So let's cut the deck over there and let's lay out the cards. So quite difficult to lay out the cards, I must be honest, because these cards have got the most beautiful, what's called a rose petal finish on them. But pushing fabric against fabric almost gives it quite a bit of friction, so can be quite difficult to navigate these cards on fabric. So if it looks like I'm struggling to push, I really am. All right, nearly finished laying out the cards. Two more. Right. And my lines are never very straight. Okay. So Pisces, I have got 9 cards laid out on the table here. I have left this space open on purpose because we will eventually put one of these cards into that space. But we'll do that after we have looked at the tarot. All right, Pisces, let's get straight into it. We have got our elder. We have got him sitting there, and he's going to stay there. We're looking at the month of June 2022. So as the 1st of June comes along, as we step over the threshold into the 1st of June, this is the card that's going to represent what you're going to be like. What is your energy? What are your feelings? What are your emotions? What is the element that you're going to be? What is the energy of who you're going to be at the 1st of June 2022? And we have got the 6 of Pentacles. I love the 6 of Pentacles because the 6 of Pentacles is the card that I resonate probably most with, because it's about helping people. It's about being supportive. It's about being considerate, caring, and kind. It's about being aware of other people's needs, wants, and desires. But more importantly, it's the card of taking whatever it is that you have in excess and sharing it with other people. So Pisces, that's basically saying that as June rolls around and as we step into the month of June, you are going to be more focused on helping other people. You're going to be more focused on being in a support role, being supportive to other people in whichever way that they need. The 6 of Pentacles comes with a little bit of a backstory in that we need to make sure that the help that we're giving and the help that we're offering, whatever it is that you have in excess, just verify and just confirm that it is actually the help that is needed. Because sometimes when we have, and I'm just to use this as a fickle example, but if we have money in excess, we start dishing money out left, right, and center. But nobody needs the money. What they need is our help with something. So don't assume that because you have a particular energy in excess, don't assume that that is exactly what other people need. We need to be constantly checking. And again, I'm going to bring our elder into it here, where he's reminding us to move beyond ancestral patterns. Because if you come from a long lineage of people who do charity work, just as an example, you know, maybe the particular charity that your family is involved in, or maybe the particular experience that your family is involved in, maybe it's time to relook at that. But you come into the month with that kind of mode of, I'm here to serve, I'm here to support, I'm here to help. And that is really amicable. That is really good. Okay. Our next card across Pisces is to give us the actual theme for the month of June. So what does the actual month of June have in store for you? What is the theme? And we've got the Hierophant. This particular Hierophant card is probably my absolute favorite Hierophant card. First of all, we've got this beautiful fat owl who has his book of knowledge, his book of inspiration. He is high up in the trees where nobody can get to him, where nobody can reach him. He's got beautiful butterflies around him, and he's very safe and he's very secure. The Hierophant is the card of morals. It's the card of beliefs. It's the card of understanding. It's the card of teaching. It's the card of recognizing that knowledge is power, okay? It's the card of recognizing that there's a morals and morals and standards are needed. And again, it's about, for you in the month of June, it's about comparing the way things were done by your family and your ancestors and looking at the way that you feel is correct and appropriate now and getting them in line so that we're not missing the boat. The theme for you, Pisces energy, for the month of June is going to be about the learning, the lessons, the experiences, the understanding of your past, your present, and your future. Love that. Good. Card number 3, Pisces. This is a card that's going to tell you something that you can look forward to accomplishing during the month of June. So something that you will accomplish, something that you can look forward to accomplishing in the month of June. And we've got the Ace of Swords. How beautiful is this artwork? I mean, you can get so lost in this art, so lost. It looks almost 3D. It looks almost ethereal. I think that's such a beautiful word to use. So something that you will accomplish is bringing your ideas to life. That's exactly what that card is. That card is the card of ideas. It's the card of inspiration. It's the card of, having these kind of ideas that pop into your head that you need to initiate, that you need to act on, that you need to implement. And as something that you will accomplish, you will absolutely bring your ideas to life during this month, as long as we are constantly moving beyond ancestral patterns and doing what is right for you in this time, here and now. Okay, so Pisces, our next two cards that we have, these are the two cards that I feel are like the most important in the whole reading because they give us the most information. What we're looking at here for the month, we're looking at a time period, we're looking at the month of June 2022, and the first card we're going to have a look at over here is the card that tells you what you need to avoid. At all costs, under all circumstances, what should you not do? What should you avoid? And the second one is going to be what you need to embrace. And, you know, if we focus on just avoiding a particular situation and embracing a particular situation, it's amazing how successful or how the month changes. So let's have a look, Pisces. What should you avoid during the month of June 2022? And we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is normally such a good card. It's normally such a beautiful card. Just look at that artwork. But the Nine of Pentacles here as something to avoid, and it's about avoiding feeling entitled. That's the way that I'm going to interpret the Nine of Pentacles. You need to, at all costs, during the month of June, you need to avoid feeling entitled. You need to avoid feeling like you belong, like you deserve, like you're entitled to anything. I'm seeing where this is going. We need to move beyond these ancestral patterns of entitlement, of a sense of heritage, if I can even put it that way, because maybe it's not right, maybe it's not true, maybe it's not what's appropriate. So you need to make sure that at all costs during the month of June that you avoid feeling like you deserve, that you're entitled, okay? Because it's not going to help you. And this is where the Hierophant is bringing that balance in, because the Hierophant says there are things that you are absolutely entitled to. There are things that you absolutely have a good legacy on, but then at the same time, what was valid and appropriate then might not be valid and appropriate now. And the Hierophant brings us those teachings, brings us those experiences. Our next card, Pisces, is a card of something that you should embrace. So during the month, we are going to avoid a sense of entitlement, and we are going to embrace our curiosity. I love that. Page of Cups. Page of Cups is the card of curiosity. It's the card of like, oh, what's that? Oh, let me explore, let me see, let me feel, let me taste, let me experience. What's that? Okay. So it is the card of curiosity. It's the card of exploration. It's the card of, I've never seen that before. I've never done that before. I've never tasted that before. Let me lick it. Okay. Pisces, I'm not encouraging you to walk around town licking stuff, but I am encouraging you to ask questions, to challenge status quo, to, put yourself in positions you've never been in before. Put yourself in circumstances you've never been before. And be confident in those situations and circumstances that you've got everything figured out. Push boundaries, ask questions, but don't have a sense of entitlement. Right, what to avoid and what to embrace. I'm loving this. Okay, we've got 4 tarot cards left across the bottom. We're still going to get another oracle card as well. This next one. So excuse me. So what we've got, okay, we've got the card that shows how you come into the month. You start the month off by being supportive, being kind, being caring, helping other people. The theme of the month, though, is about the morals, the lessons, the learning, the understanding. We are going to achieve implementing any ideas that we have. We're going to avoid a sense of entitlement, but we're also going to embrace our curiosity. We can avoid this, we can bypass this, we can go completely around this, but this particular card is going to represent an obstacle that you have to overcome during the month of June. So what is something that you have to work through? What is something that you can't work around, but you have to work through it? Let's have a look, Pisces. An obstacle or a challenge that you have to work through, that you have to overcome during the month of June. And we have got the 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is the card of samey. Let me explain. 4 of Cups is the card of boredom and disconnect. 4 of Cups is the card of like, if you eat the same food every day of your life, For the first week or 2 or 3 of eating it, you really enjoy it and it's really wonderful and it's really amazing. But eventually it becomes just like, oh my gosh, do I really have to eat that again? This card is an interesting one as far as a challenge goes, because it, first of all, it needs you to recognize, it needs you to identify what in your life is repetitive, what in your life is so uninspiring, and what in your life is giving you this element of boredom. Something that you do because you feel obligated, you feel like you have to, you feel like you don't have choice, but it doesn't inspire you, it doesn't enthuse you, it doesn't excite you. Okay, so Pisces, the first thing we have to do, because you cannot overcome this challenge until you've identified what it is. What is it in your life that is just so dull and boring? Okay, so you're going to have to spend a bit of time looking into that. Just as you go through the first couple of days of the month, notice your activities, notice your conversations, notice the things that you're doing, and then ask yourself, I'm doing this a lot. Why am I doing it a lot? And to bring our elder back into it, maybe we're doing it a lot because it's something we believe we need to, because it is an ancestral pattern. And maybe this is where the ideas will come from, is we'll suddenly, when we recognize what it is that we're doing repetitively that doesn't inspire us, we will see that it is an ancestral pattern that needs to be shifted and changed. We will avoid that. We will embrace our curiosity and we will overcome this particular challenge. All right. So Pisces, the next card we have in our list is when we find ourselves facing this challenge, when we find ourselves trying to avoid whatever we need. It's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult. So this particular card is going to show you support that you can lean on, support that you can grab hold of, support that is available to you while you are dealing with things in life. And the card we have for you is the Eight of Pentacles. It's all of these beautiful bees, worker bees, who each one knows what its job is. Each bee knows what its function is. Each bee knows exactly what its purpose is and just gets on and does it. All right. And I think this is what Spirit is saying. The support that's available to you is just get on and do what you need to do. Don't look around for validation. Don't look around for support. Don't look around for somebody to tell you, yes, that's the right thing. You've got to trust and believe in yourself. You've got to be curious enough to give it a chance. You've got to follow through with your ideas. And you've got to know that, yeah, it's right. If it's in your heart and soul, it's right. Support comes from doing things that need to be done. I almost want to say support comes from doing your chores, because it gives you that sense of comfort, that sense of belonging, that sense of understanding, that sense of just purpose. Okay, but there are still things in life that you were doing that don't give you that excitement, don't give you that sense of purpose. But when you're dealing with that, the way to overcome that is to go back to basics, to stick with what it is that you do, stick with what it is your purpose. Don't do things that are outside of your scope. Don't, if you're a worker bee fetching pollen, you're not going to be the one taking care of the baby bees as well. You have one job. Stick with it, okay? But if there's anything else happening in your life that doesn't excite you, that doesn't bring you joy, we need to make some changes. And maybe this is where the support will come from. Okay, interesting indeed, Pisces. So 2 cards left, 2 tarot cards left, and then we're still going to take an oracle. As we go through the month of June, this card is going to be something that you need to initiate. This is going to be something that you need to action, you need to initiate during the month of June. So Pisces, you need to initiate Page of Wands energy. Now, if we have a look at what we've got here, there's a whole lot of birds. Okay, we've got 2 birds close up, but we've got a whole lot of birds over there. This bird is carrying, can you see it's like a gift ribbon? Sorry, the camera is focusing on everything else. There we go. You can see that it is a gift ribbon. So carrying a twig, carrying a piece of wood, a piece of stick, and it's obviously taking it to a nest, but it's taking it as an offering, as a gift. It's a gesture of validation, approval, you know, whatever it may be. And that's what the Page of Wands represents. The Page of Wands represents, you know, getting on and doing something, you know, offering assistance, offering support, offering guidance, getting down to doing things that are relevant and appropriate, and not worrying about what everybody else is doing. So not being the sheep, not being the person who just copies everybody else and sticks within the flock, but actually deviating from that and saying, I see a need, I see a want, I see a desire, I'm able to fulfill it, therefore I am going to. So the action for you, Pisces, for the month ahead is, for the month of June, is Spirit saying to you, if you see an opportunity, if you're curious around something, if you see an opportunity, if you have a thought around something, act on it. Okay? Don't hold back. Don't hold back. If you're able to offer support and guidance, if you're able to do something kind for another person, do it. Don't question, don't doubt. Jump in and do it, because that is something that may lead to opportunities for you at a later stage. Okay, by helping somebody now, by making a gesture of faith and a gesture of support now, you may actually benefit from it at a later stage. But that shouldn't be your motive. Your motive is to be kind and generous, but also we want to move beyond ancestral patterns. Okay, we have one more tarot card, Pisces, and this particular card is just additional inspiration, additional message, additional advice from Spirit for you for the month of June. And we have the Queen of Cups. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So Queen of Cups, we had the Page of Cups, and now we've got the Queen of Cups that has come through as well. Queen of Cups is somebody who is very intuitive, somebody who is very connected, somebody who is very aware of what everybody's feeling, what everybody's going through, what everybody's processing, okay? And Spirit is saying to you, you need to understand, Pisces, at the core of your being, at the absolute root core of who you are the Queen of Cups. You do care about other people. Everything that you do is about helping, supporting, and guiding somebody else. That is who you are at the core. But sometimes we need to understand that even though we love and care about people so much, sometimes doing things for them puts them in jeopardy, actually is a disservice to them. So sometimes loving them unconditionally, supporting them unconditionally, but stepping back is sometimes what is needed. And that is how I am reading Queen of Cups for you, because it's about the learning, it's about the lessons, it's about the morals, it's about what is right. And we are moving beyond ancestral patterns. We are almost, if I can use the term, modernizing our processes, our methods, and our understandings in order to have something that makes more sense to our current situation and circumstance. All right, Pisces, I now have the next oracle deck in my hands, and this is the Divine Energy Oracle. I have shuffled before I started recording, but I do like to shuffle a little bit while I have you on camera. This particular oracle deck does not have pretty pictures. What it has, though, are keywords or key phrases that are just so appropriate, just so relevant, and just so truly wonderful. So let's see what wants to come through just to complete our reading for Pisces energy for June 2022. Cutting the deck and taking a card. Okay, putting the rest away. Let's have a look, Pisces, and see what is our final message from Spirit for all of you here and now. So I love that. Accept what is dying. I love that. And you know, I mean, it's 4 little words, but it's exactly everything that has been covered here. But this is just like to the point, blunt, and in your face. Dying is not dying, okay? Dying is just, I'm going to change that word to say what is not relevant right now. Dying is what is not appropriate right now, what is not relevant right now. And dying is what is not necessary, needed, or valid in your life right now. And accept it. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's over. It doesn't mean that it's, horrible. It just means it's no longer relevant, no longer appropriate. And Pisces, June 2022 is all about you identifying what is dying in your life, letting it go, and having the ideas and having the inspiration and the curiosity and the lessons and the learning to move yourself beyond. I love, love, love OMG, I wish I was Pisces. All right, Pisces, it looks like you're in for an amazing month. I can't wait to see how it unfolds for you. Do comment below and let me know what happens during the month and how all of this ties in. I'd love to hear what is dying in your life during the month. Not who, what. It's not a who, it's a what. Can you see? What? What? All right, Pisces, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.